The Electoral Commission of Zambia made headlines recently. They awarded a substantial contract to Renform CC Printing Group. This South African company will print and deliver election materials. The contract is for 3 years and covers by-elections and the 2026 general election. The estimated cost is significant, ranging from 3.5 million to 5.7 million US dollars, depending on the number of candidates. Brown Casaro, ECZ Chief Electoral Officer, announced the decision. This sparked debate about public trust and the appointment process for ECZ members. Some stakeholders expressed concern about the transparency of the tender process. They questioned why a foreign company was chosen for this crucial task. The implications are serious, and people are watching to see how this affects the fairness of Zambia's elections. The ECZ faces a challenge to address public concern and ensure the procurement process is transparent and accountable. Their actions will impact public confidence in the electoral system. Renform CC's history is not without controversy. The company has been linked to questionable dealings in other African countries. One example is Zimbabwe, where Renform CC was accused of colluding with the ruling party to manipulate election results. This has raised red flags for those concerned about fair elections in Zambia. Critics point to a lack of transparency in past dealings and worry that history might repeat itself in Zambia. The lack of public information about the tender process fuels these concerns. The ECZ needs to address these concerns head-on by providing clear and detailed information about the bidding process. A similar situation unfolded recently in Malawi, heightening concerns about election material procurement in Africa. Al Ghurair Printing and Publishing won a $4.6 million contract. This Dubai-based company was the highest bidder among 13 contenders. The decision sparked outrage and suspicion. Al Ghurair has been embroiled in controversies before, facing scrutiny for election-related contracts in several African countries, including Zambia, Kenya, and Uganda. Critics argue that their track record should have disqualified them. The Malawi situation is a worrying sign, suggesting a trend of questionable practices. The procurement of election materials needs urgent attention, with greater transparency, accountability, and fair bidding processes essential to ensure the integrity of elections on the continent. Section 4: Transparency and Accountability, crucial pillars of fair elections. The controversies surrounding Renform CC and Al Ghurair highlight a broader issue. Transparency and accountability are crucial in procuring election materials. Critics argue that these processes are often too secretive. They lack clear guidelines and independent oversight. This lack of transparency creates a breeding ground for corruption. It allows manipulation and erodes public trust. The absence of clear criteria for evaluating bids is a problem. The lack of robust challenge mechanisms adds to the concern. When companies with questionable records get contracts, it raises alarms. This suggests that factors other than merit are at play. African nations need to act. They need to adopt and implement comprehensive frameworks. Section 5: Restoring Public Trust, a roadmap for electoral reform in Africa. Public trust in electoral processes is paramount. When citizens believe elections are unfair, they lose faith in democracy. This undermines the legitimacy of elected governments. Fair and transparent elections are fundamental. They give citizens a voice and ensure peaceful transitions of power. They foster stability and development. When these processes are compromised, the consequences are severe. It creates an uneven playing field and fuels unrest. It hinders democratic progress. African nations must prioritize electoral reforms. Transparency, accountability, and citizen participation are key. Strengthening oversight mechanisms is essential. Fair and competitive procurement processes are a must. A culture of openness and integrity is vital. These actions will safeguard the integrity of elections and maintain public trust.